Hello, everyone, and welcome back to our Unreal Engine Blueprint tutorial series. In today's episode, we're going to expand on our understanding of interfaces by creating an interactable object that responds to player actions. In our last episode, we modified our character info interface to interact with objects in our game world, affecting character stats. If you haven't seen that episode yet, I highly recommend checking it out first. And before we dive into today's episode, please take a moment to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. It helps to support the content and ensures that you don't miss any future episodes. In today's episode, we're going to use our existing character info interface to create a rising door that activates when a player steps into its overlapping collision box. We created this interface in episode 1 of this series, so if you want to follow along, I suggest starting there. Let's jump right in. So let's start by creating our rising door. To do that, we're going to go into the content browser and we're going to create a new blueprint class. We're going to select actor, name this RisingDoor, and open that up. Inside this, we need to add our door, the mesh for our door, and a collision box that we can interact with. So I'm going to go to add a static mesh. I'm going to name this door, and I'm going to assign it something like this for now. That looks good. The next thing I need to add is a collision box. It doesn't have to be a box. It can be a sphere or any other shape you can create in here, which is something that can be used for its overlap. We're going to take that and let's bring this out. And then let's change the size. I want this to match my door. So that as I approach it, the door should rise. That looks good for now. The next thing we need to do in our Rising Door blueprint is go to our class settings and we want to go to implemented interfaces and add our interface. Character info interface. We're going to compile and save that. Next thing we want to do is open up our character info interface and we're going to add another function here. And this function we're going to name ActivateRisingDoor. Go ahead and compile and save that. We can actually go ahead and close down the interface. We don't need that for now. In here, we're going to set up our ActivateRisingDoor logic. Next, what we're going to want to do is actually head back to your interface. We do need to add another function that'll be closing the door. So let's add a function and we'll follow the same naming convention. Add closing door, activate closing door. Head back over here and we're going to actually grab that as well. Ignore that. Okay, so from here, we're going to come out. We're going to add a timeline. We want to call this rising timeline. And then we want to go and get a lerp, the vector. Let's work on our timeline real quick. Let's knock this down to 1 second. Add a float track. Add a keyframe. We want to start at 0, 0. Add another keyframe. We want to go 1, 1. 1, 1. Close that down. We're going to take this new track, and that's going to go into our alpha. we need a couple vectors to come into here. We want our closed position and our starting position. So go over to your construction script. And here we're actually going to get our door, get world location, create a couple new variables. Let's go with closed position, open position. The first one we want to do is get the closed position. That's where it's starting at. So we're going to set that. Then we want to set the open position. The open position is going to be its starting world position. And we're going to add about 300 to the Z direction. Compile that. Hop back over to the event graph. And here we're going to start in the open position. Nope, sorry, we're going to end in the open position and we're going to start in the closed position. We're going to take this value and we're actually going to set the world location of our door based on that value. Compile that. For whenever we call the event active, I misspelled that. I want to go fix it. Activate, compile, save, back over here, activate. We're just going to plug this into the reverse for now of that. And for our overlap logic, we can actually steal this for now. Let's test just the opening for now to see if, make sure everything's working. So we'll say activate rising door, compile, save, test. That is working. Now we need to close it. For this, when we end the overlap, we want ours to go to shut. So let's go copy this, just do once here, and we're going to say activate closing door. Go test this out. There it opens. If I back out, it closes. But you see it doesn't re-trigger, so we need to, once one ends, we want to be able to reset it. So go back to our rising door. We want to reset when we enter or exit. So we'll do it this way. So now the door opens, closes, it re-triggers. I can open and close it while running. I back up. That wraps up episode 3. Today we learned how to use our character info interface to create a rising door that activates when our character steps into the overlapping collision box. Using an interface in this situation gives a great deal of control over what actors or objects can interact with others. Checking that an interface is implemented isn't the only way to handle this, but it can be a very powerful tool when expanding beyond simple examples such as this. This could also be modified very easily to fit your game or project. In the next episode, we'll continue to expand our knowledge of interfaces and explore even more advanced techniques for dynamic gameplay, such as implementing visual features and additional environmental interactions. Thanks for joining me in today's tutorial. If you found this helpful, please hit the like button and share it with your friends. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel so you won't miss any future episodes. If you have any questions or suggestions, feel free to leave them in the comments below. Keep pushing the boundaries of what's possible in Unreal Engine. Happy developing, and I'll see you in the next episode.